Hello there guys, my name is Coach Jay, YouTube channel Dogs to Born, but for Theme Park News, and welcome to a Theme Park Newsroom update from Six Flags Fiesta Texas, where some clues have been unveiled as part of their 2020 teaser campaign. Now these clues include 7 actual clues, as well as, 5 actual clues and 2 about, rides in states, and 2 clues about rides that could be staying or going. And I'm going to sort of share those sites as well as the clues. So let's have a look then at the 2 attractions that have been clued to stay or go. So one attraction on your screen now, that is the site via Google Earth of Boomerang. Now, the Boomerang is a classic coaster. For the theme park industry. So Boomerang basically opened in 1999 on the 13th of March 1999. It's a Vekoma Boomerang coaster installed by Martin and Vlemix but built by Vekoma. It's a very classic coaster. It isn't one of the oldest operating coasters, but it's in the top 5 for oldest operating coasters at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Now, I have been talking about that Boomerang site, as well as the other attraction site, and I'm going to go on about that in the clue after the clues. So the other attraction on your screen now, by David Ozzy, again via Google Earth, is the Sundance Theatre. Now, the clues were Boomerang, stay or go, Sundance Theatre, stay or go. Now, let's talk about then the state clues. So basically, all these state clues, these 5 ones, state clues, basically the state name, and they don't have one of these yet. So I've been sort of going on the coaster route, as well as including a couple of flat rides. So California was one of the states included, so they haven't got a B&M wing, an S&S air launch, a Premier Tower launch, which is basically like a Yamaha racing coaster. If you want to go and look at that after this video, then you'd see what I mean. A Mack Power Splash, an S&S multi-looper, got a steel curtain, and a Zamperla Nebulas, which is the new attraction, the new flat family ride at Luna Park, Coney Island. And that is the same rides, don't have one here yet, line up for Texas, Idaho, Alaska, and Utah. So basically the teaser was, they don't have one of these in here yet. And I sort of picked out a few ride options that they don't have in these states. So basically, which coasters don't any of these areas have? Mack Power Splash, B&M Wing, S&S Air Launch like a Max Force, Premier Tower Launch like a Yamaha racing coaster, a steel curtain type S&S multi-looper, and in terms of flat rides, the Zamperla Nebulas. Now the Nebulas can fit in both of these sites. Now, out of those coaster options, I chose what I felt could fit in that site the most. So with Boomerang, I chose the S&S Air Launch coaster, the Max Force route. Just because there's a bit of, obviously if you look on the Boomerang site, which I'm going to put back on your screen now, I'll come back to that Sundance Theatre site in a bit, but the Boomerang site, if you look there, you can easily get some stuff around the back, obviously in the Boomerang site. You can use that, maybe that old Boomerang station, and sort of work your layout around the back. You can even do some things. If you look sort of adjacent to the yellow circle, there's a bit of grass area on the other side of the train track, and you can really interact with it in the train. And also on the other side of the yellow circle, you can do some some layout options around that pathway and build some supports on the pathway. So again, pretty good option. So let's get that Sundance Theatre site back on your screen now. And basically, I chose the air launch like Max Force, or a Mack Power Splash, or an S&S multi-looper. Now the Power Splash, first of all, let's get that out of the way. That fits perfectly in the site. Maybe not the Pulsar version, but maybe the shorter version that's being built in China. I think it's like the 271 meter, something like that. But Pulsar's like a bit longer. So, that easily fits. But the multi-looper and the air launch, I think, if you look round the back of that yellow circle, you can see a lot of grass area behind, I believe that's the Lone Star Amphitheatre. You could easily create a bit of a layout using the grass area as well. So not just that yellow circle, but you can use that grass area around the back of the Lone Star Amphitheatre as well. So there we go. So that's sort of a look at what options there could be for the site. Obviously, there's more flat rides that states have got and haven't got. Obviously, the Zamperla Endeavour, you know, there's no sort of, obviously California hasn't got one, so it would fit only a couple of states, if you know what I mean. Texas hasn't got one, things like that. But in terms of things that haven't got all in any of those states, in any of those 5 states, I do think we're looking at sort of those options. Obviously, if there's any more options, obviously you can't really choose a dive coaster because you've got Mako coming next year in California, and you've got technically Infinity Coasters, Eurofighters, that kind of thing, that are technically classed as dive coasters with hang time at Knott's Berry Farm. And I definitely think they're sort of the main options that I picked out. Obviously, there are smaller options like other rides as well as coasters, but I was sort of focusing on coasters and things like that. So I think we're more likely to look at a flat ride maybe, but I wouldn't mind any of those coasters, an SS Multi-Looper, an Air Launch, a Power Splash, you know, any of those coasters. Obviously, a B&M Wing would be too big for both sites, unless you could do a really cool layout. Work it around the rest of the site and work it around the amphitheatre as well, in the Sundance Theatre site. Again, we don't know that. But again, it's going to be interesting to follow this teaser campaign. Obviously, it means that Fiesta Texas could be getting something quite big, but not as big as a coaster maybe. So there we go. So that's sort of a look at this teaser campaign then by Six Flags Fiesta Texas. My name is Coach Chai, YouTube channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. Make sure you join me on August 1st, ready for the big conference from Universal Studios. And if I'm not mistaken, today it is the 29th of July. So I just had to have a quick look at my phone just to double check. Which means tomorrow, on the 30th of July, will be the big announcement by Busch Gardens Williamsburg on their coaster. Obviously, I've got all the teasers compiled together in like a video, the compilation of the teasers that I'm planning to announce on the morning of the 30th of July, or I might release it later today, I'm not too sure, so stay tuned for that. But it's going to be interesting to follow. I can't wait for the press conference or whenever the announcement's going to be for that tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned across the 30th and the 31st of July for that video when it comes out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, guys, my name is Coach Chai, you should dogs the ball, but built for Theme Park News. Keep living the coast life, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care. Have an awesome day, my friends.